You're listening to the Dad Whisperer podcast with Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield, the place where you, as a dad, will gain more tools for your fathering toolbox, and where moms and daughters are also invited to listen into the conversation. Now, here is your host, Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield.
Hello and welcome to the Dad Whisperer podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield, and I love that you're here today, Dad, ready to learn some new things to put new tools in your fathering toolbox so that you can be the dad you want to be and that your daughter needs you to be. And if you're like a lot of the men I talk to, you know that the things that you learn here on the Dad Whisperer podcast are also effective with your sons. And truth be told, every woman you know is a daughter, so these tools for your toolbox are also effective with any woman in your life. And I trust that especially today, the Valentine's Day episode will be especially meaningful to your heart because these are things that you can put into action, men, so that the women around you feel extra loved, extra special, extra cherished this Valentine's Day, whether or not they're your daughter. So I'm telling you, this is a show that I promise you will be worth your time. Well, you know that every week I want you to picture yourselves, dads, standing side by side each other, getting ready to run your fathering race this week. And I'm on the sidelines as your coach, cheering you on and saying, on your mark, get set, go. On your mark, that's the topic or the theme. Get set, filling that in with stories and with stats. And then go is always your practical action step so that you can put your love for your daughters and your sons into action this week. Well, today I am calling this, on your mark, 10 ways to win your daughter's heart this Valentine's Day. 10 ways to win your daughter's heart this Valentine's Day. And every man I know says, tell me how to fix it, get to the point already, make it clear, and give me steps, number them, tell me what to do. So I have found that usually when things have numbers to them, for whatever reason, men seem to listen more. So I decided to go with that and give you 10 specific ways that you can win your daughter's heart this Valentine's Day. Okay, got to start though first by setting the foundation by telling you that one of the reasons that you hear me emphasize heart is for a couple of reasons. One is that God himself said, if the hearts of fathers, he didn't say the heads, but the hearts of fathers don't turn to their children, and then children reciprocating by turning their hearts back, he says, I will come and strike the land with a curse. I don't think we have to look very far to see the impact of what feels to me like a curse. I don't know if that's actually what God means. He didn't define that. But there is a curse against your daughter to be all of who God made her to be. And that's why I want to champion you as dads to engage your hearts first and foremost in winning. And I say that, winning the heart of your daughter, because winning is oftentimes a competitive term, right? We think of that as a sports term. And you may think, oh my goodness, my daughter would never want to know that I'm competing for her heart or trying to win or lose her heart. But at the end of the day, Dad, if you don't step it up, there's other influences that are always competing for your daughter's heart, for her attention, for her love. And I want you to be the dad that wins her heart by intentional investment and engagement. That's number one, the most important thing. And number two, I use the word heart often here on the show. You hear that whether you've heard me live at conferences, whether it's been in my books or whether it's here, because this idea of heart, we tend to oftentimes as women, we either live from our hurt or we live from our heart. Women tend to hang up the phone with love ya, love ya, love ya, heart words, emotive words. And that's really where we're our best, is when our heart is engaged. And so, Dad, for you to understand your daughter and to win her heart, it's all about connecting with where she thrives, where she has passion, because oftentimes that's where we lead. It's not always where we're our best. We can be our best when we're leading from our heart, but sometimes, man alive, our hearts lead us astray. So at the end of the day, I want you to be a dad that understands where her heart beats, where her heart comes alive, where her heart leads her, for better or worse, but really to engage in conversations, for example, as you hear me talk about in my book, Let's Talk, so that you're hearing what's going on at a heart level under the surface. So those are a couple reasons why hearts really matter to me. And I want to emphasize that, especially here at Valentine's Day. Well, I read an article a while back called The Bachelor, the TV show, is a failed experiment. So why does America still watch? So I'm going to be talking to you about a couple different TV shows that I think in a way shed light on where women are at, especially, but where our culture is at. And these stats and this information about where they're going to watch and to look at things, I think really gives evidence of what's going on under the surface at a heart level. Okay, so here's what this article said. Why is this a failed experiment that America keeps watching? Great question. And I'm highlighting this so that you can understand your daughter's inner longings, okay? Here's what they said. The Bachelor and the Bachelorette is, quote, an experiment in love and matchmaking in the modern era, and a highly manufactured depiction of romance that isn't about finding love, since less than 10 couples are still together after 26 seasons in 20 years. Oh my goodness. With odds like that, right? No one would invest in the stock market in something like this that had such little success, really, to show for all the money, the billions they've put into this show. They said that 3.8 million viewers, this was last year, were watching. 3.8 million, with the largest demographic being women between the ages of 18 and 49. Okay, worth noting, isn't it? And they said the goal of every contestant, you want to hear what it is? To get the attention of the lead, right? Whether that's the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, at any cost. They'll give it expensive gifts. They'll show tons of their body. They'll do anything that the lead might want or might ask or imply because they want to win that person's attention at any cost. So they interviewed a psychologist named William Ryan, and here's what he said. Psychologist, 35-year veteran psychologist at that, like very seasoned in sitting in the trenches and being trusted with people's story, with their pain. Here's what he said. Watching the show is a social bonding event, like watching the Super Bowl. Okay, I can understand that. Makes sense. But he said audiences can't ignore how the series offers vicarious pleasure, right? So it's not about your own romance or your own heart connection or your own life story. It's living through somebody else's story. And he said it feeds our own imagination about romance. He goes on to say that the show thrives on contestants trauma bonding and trauma dumping. I'd actually never heard that word till he used it as a means to evoke vulnerability, which is actually an attempt to develop pseudo intimacy. You guys, this is so important for you as a dad to understand, is that if your daughter doesn't have real intimacy, and you've heard that word defined as into me see, right? Intimacy is when someone is close enough to see into our heart space, into our emotive space, into our cognitive places, but getting close enough to have real intimacy in order to counter pseudo intimacy. Because if we're not getting the real thing, in other words, we're going to take whatever we can get. And you guys know what I'm talking about when I say the players, like Taylor Swift said, the player's gonna play. Like they're gonna do that. So if your daughter isn't getting real intimacy connections that are healthy, grounded, safe, trustworthy, rather than a playing kind of game where she's a prize to be won, or she wants to get the guy because she wants to win him as her prize. I'm telling you, if she's not getting it from you, she's going to go somewhere else. And as a dad, where I have to believe you have pure motives, you have clear motives to really know her, love her, let her know you love her and want to know her, that at the end of the day, Dad, your proactive strategy is the best stance you can have. Because we know that I always forget, is it a good defense? Is it a good offense? I know. I am not good at football, but I did watch a little last Sunday with my husband. You'd be proud of me. But really, at the end of the day, I'm sitting there going, I do not understand this game. But you guys know the good strategy, the wise strategy, the great strategy, the winning strategy isn't that it? You've got to have a good defense, and that's the best offense. So Dad, I give you that challenge and that reminder that the more proactive ways you can connect with your daughter, whether she's in a season of pushing you away or not, and you've heard me give you ideas for that, write in a journal, give it to her down the road, but you're investing in whatever way you can in real time, that is the best strategy to offset her vulnerability to the pseudo versions of intimacy, of romance, of love, whatever that might be. I read that one podcaster named Chad Coltgen said, this series isn't showing how to establish a good foundation for long-lasting, healthy relationships. But as with any form of entertainment, it's a mirror of the good, the bad, and the ugly of our society, a thermometer of the culture. I love that term. Because we're finding out that what drives today's culture is the fame machine. Boy, I think back through the years, again, I've been mentoring and coaching and counseling high school girls, junior high girls, and 20-somethings since I was 19. I'm 62. Okay, over 4 decades. I've sat close enough to girls to hear how often they wish they were the Bachelorette. They want to be like the Kardashians. Literally, those words from their mouths to my ears. Like, I want to be famous. I want to be on TikTok where, there's 3.8 billion or whatever listeners, where I get a following. They want to know how many likes they have. They get depressed if they're not quote unquote liked on social media. Often at the end of the day, I want to peel back the layers, or let's use a term that you guys will understand, lift the hood of the car to look underneath at the wiring to say, what kind of attention are you getting from your dad? I truly believe there's a correlation between father hunger, as Margot Main writes in her book, that's the title of it, between father hunger, where a daughter hungers for her father's attention and love. And there's a correlation between that kind of hunger and a desire for fame, a hunger for some need to get met somewhere else when it's not getting met, I believe, from dad in a legitimate, healthy, honorable, honoring way. So I know I may be, banging the same gong week after week, month after month, year after year here on the Dad Whisperer podcast, but it's because my heart so longs to see our culture and our nation heal from the ground up. And I believe that will happen with healthier women making healthier choices. And at the end of the day, Dad, you are paramount. You are key to your daughter's health and vitality. And the more you dial in to her heart space, especially at Valentine's Day, I believe you will have a healthier daughter. Let me tell you about one other show that I want to just highlight, and it's Hallmark. Okay, I'm going to admit I used to watch a lot of Hallmark before I got married. I know. I called it my, not really a vice or guilty pleasure. I wasn't hiding it. I didn't feel guilty about it. It had limits. But you know what? I really would go on record as saying, I think watching another show, right, had a lot to do with my own desire for romance sort of being lived out there. In my view, wasn't hurting anybody. I was just watching this in order to celebrate love and romance. And I love that theme. I love that topic. And I truly believe wherever your daughter is at on a spectrum of being highly giggly and boy crazy, all the way to a girl that is so into sports or into science and, maybe coding computers that she's like the last thing she's thinking about is romance. But I believe that God has created us with a heart need, especially as women. Yes, it's all of us as human beings to engage at the heart level. But at the end of the day, I truly believe that women long for romance, long to be desired, cherished, pursued. And you as a dad can do just that. You can initiate, you can pursue, you can choose her. So I was looking at some information about Hallmark, and it's really kind of crazy how many people at the end of the day also watch that show. I don't know why, right? Like I said, they're so cheesy. Every man I know says they're the same storyline every single time you watch every single show. I believe it's because we women love love. We love love. We love to be loved. We love to give love. That's it. Inside the heart of every woman is a God-given desire, like I told you, to be pursued and cherished and known. But when we think about it as the Hallmark movie empire, it's like, do they actually get more, understand more about the heart of women than even dads do? There's a question for you to ponder, because here's the stats. In 2010, there were 6 original Hallmark holiday movies. In 2014, that number 6 doubled and went to 12. By 2015, they added 21 new Hallmark movies in their lineup. By 2017, they produced 33 more. And in June of 18, they were debuting 90, are you kidding me, additional movies. And they said, better yet, they're all year long, even if they're Christmas movies in July. That's what I've seen them do. Okay, Dad, Hallmark knows something. Women love romance. So, Dad, I'm going to give you 10 ways this Valentine's Day that you can win your daughter's heart. And if you want to know what those are, I encourage you to come back. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to give you all 10 so that you can be the dad you want to be and the hero you want to be to your daughter this Valentine's Day. We'll be right back.
Are you a dad who has ever desired a deeper connection with your daughter, but haven't known how to go about it? Let's Talk Conversation Starters for Dads and Daughters is the very resource you need. Dr. Michelle wrote it with you dads in mind. This book will support you with scripted questions, equip you to decode your daughter, and inspire you with stories of other dads and daughters. Don't wait any longer to be the hero you want to be and that your daughter needs you to be. So, to let the talking begin, head on over to drmichellewatson.com/books and order your copy today. This book will become a favorite in your fathering toolbox and will give you the answers you've been looking for. That's drmichellewatson.com/books. Now, back to the Dad Whisperer podcast.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Dad Whisperer podcast. I'm Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield, and today on your mark is 10 ways to win your daughter's heart this Valentine's Day. I've given you already for Get Set a bunch of information to set the foundation so that you as a dad can dial in with more intention and precision this Valentine's Day to your heart. To her heart, I should say. Really, but it's interesting that I said your heart, because when your heart is activated, her heart will respond beautifully. It's like a flower opening up. I honestly say that. And I think of how many times, especially as a single woman, that my dad would buy me flowers on Valentine's Day. He would come over, drop them off with a note. He loved making Hallmark cards, still does on, I say past tense when I was single, but he still does it now, where he uses, some kind of a template on the computer that he's bought online. I've told you guys about that before. And then he drops in information about me in photos and gives me a handmade card. That has made Valentine's Day so special for me to set the foundation for now when I'm married, because I know what it's like to be pursued on Valentine's Day. So here you go. Here is your 10-step plan of action, Dad, to win your daughter's heart. Number 1, many of these will be obvious, but I want to highlight them in a short list. Number 1, spend time with her. This has got to be face-to-face, looking in each other's eyes. Even if you're doing a remote date, she can go to a restaurant, you can pay for it. Like Dr. Dean Mashofsky did with Sophie. He sent her money in New York, said, go to a restaurant and we're going to FaceTime while you're there and I'm going to pay for your meal. Okay, super creative. But Dad, this has got to be number 1. I put it here on purpose, where you are looking at your daughter, you're sitting face-to-face across a table. Let her pick the spot. It can be breakfast, lunch, dinner, pre-lunch, dessert after dinner, whatever works for her schedule. Let her choose the place. Let her choose the time. Let her choose the day. And you know what? If you have to leave work to do that on her time, her schedule, her time constraints, it is going to mean even more to her. I think about years ago with a teenage client I had where her dad owned a business, very, very busy. She was really hurting over some things that were heavy on her heart. And she was like, I don't get to see my dad much. And when he left work in the middle of the day, went to her high school, picked her up, took her to lunch, and took her back, I saw on this teenage girl's 17-year-old face how happy she was that dad made the time for her, and she'll never forget it. I think, my goodness, at the end of the day, if he was calculating the gains financially over here, the gain with his daughter trumped anything that he could have brought in financially that day. So Dad, number 1, get face-to-face time with her. Real FaceTime in whatever way you need to make it happen. Do that today. Stop right now, figure out a time to meet with her one-on-one, and let her know that it's for Valentine's Day. Throw that in there. It doesn't matter if she's married or single or engaged. Let her know this is just about you and her. Nobody else, just the two of you. Number 2, second way to win your daughter's heart this Valentine's Day, and that is to text her an affirming message. Right now, do it. Right? Don't put it off. No better time than the present. Tell her what is beautiful about her. I would encourage you to use that word. Text her and affirm her. I was just thinking about you, hon. And I was thinking about how much I love what your eyes look at. You see needs. You see, the down and outers. You see beauty in creation. You see where you need to, do a line drive in softball, and you just know where to plant that hit. Whatever it is, affirm her in a text. That's number 2. Number 3, write her a note. right now, get some kind, it doesn't even matter if it's a piece of paper from your printer. Get some piece of paper and write in your own handwriting a message to her that says, hey, it's Valentine's month. It's Valentine's Day. I just wanted you to know I'm thinking of you and I love you. I would even encourage you, go to the store. All the cards are there. You don't have to put a ton of effort in. And I don't say that to like give you the easy way out. I don't mean that, but I'm just saying, Dad, if you're super busy and slammed in this season, take a half an hour out, drive to the store, drive to Dollar Tree, my goodness, $1.25 at the most, couple bucks. You will have a win on your hand because your daughter has that card to read back. You've heard me talk about that before, but I just wanted to update you on how important this is because I just got some analytics from my assistant for last year with the podcast, my Dad Daughter Friday blogs, things I'm putting out on social media, my books, that kind of thing. And here's what she said. She said, one of your favorite blogs from all of last year was called Writing a Letter She'll Never Forget. He said it beats out every other blog by a mile. There were almost 15,000 views of just that one blog. Oh my goodness. That tells me this is scratching where you itch, if you will, that you as dads are invested in saying, what do I write? So go to my website if you don't know what to write in the card. It's under free resources. I tell you what to put in the letter, ideas. But Dad, even at the end of the day, if you don't want to go on, or you don't have the time, or maybe there's not much of a bridge built between the two of you, just write, I love you. I wanted you to know that today. I'm celebrating you this Valentine's Day. You can be short, sweet, and to the point, but send her a card today with your own writing. That's number 3. Number 4, call her today. Leave her a voicemail where she can hear your voice. If you have an iPhone, you know you can even do a voice memo where you don't even have to leave the message where she gets the call, but you can do the voice memo and send it to her. Sometimes, dads, that's even more powerful because she can save it and repeat it over and over when she's missing you, needs to hear your voice. But there's something so powerful about voice, isn't there? I think of women that I've heard whose dads are no longer living, and going back to hear dad's voice calms her entire central nervous system. Every part of her, body, brain, emotions, heart is settled with dad's voice. So I want to encourage you, number 4, call her or give her a voice text where she can play it back. That's a way to win her heart. Okay, number 5. I really alluded to this in the first one when I said spend time with her. And if she's away, do FaceTime. But that's number 5. It's not just FaceTime her, but it's ask questions. That's number 5, ask questions. But the reason I'm emphasizing FaceTime is it's got to be in person. Yet, here's the caveat, Dad. If you're really in a tough place with your daughter, or she is at a place where you can't talk with her, write them out. Text her 3 questions, send a letter with 3 questions. You can go to my book, Let's Talk, Conversation Starters for Dads and Daughters, where I've got them there. If you don't know what to ask, Dad, I've got 60 themes of conversation starters, lots of ideas. But again, what I've given you before is, hey, how close do you feel? 0 to 10 to me? Number 2, would you like us to be closer? Number 3, what could I be? How could I be a better dad to you? Or what could I do? I should say it that way, to be a better dad to you. But Dad, find a way today to ask her about her day or her feelings or her fears or, her dreams, and make it your goal to listen. Listen, listen, listen. Ask questions. That's not your time to lecture. When you set aside time to intentionally ask her questions, remember that your goal is to listen so that she can figure things out by talking. So that 5th one is ask questions in real time. Okay, number 6, send her flowers. Okay, I don't know about you, but I almost don't know a woman alive who doesn't love flowers. The beauty of them. There's just something about the beauty, the texture, the vitality, the life in flowers. I don't know what it is, but my husband bought me flowers a few days ago, and I am looking at them right now as I'm talking to you. There's pinks and yellows and purples and soft greens and bright greens, and it just fills me up. So Dad, I told you earlier, my dad has done that so many Valentine's days. Go do that today. Buy her flowers. If she's far away, send them to her. Okay, that is number 6. Number 7, buy her some gift. Now you might go, oh my goodness, that always stresses me out. Okay, go to the store and ask the clerk, what would you buy for a 25-year-old daughter? What would you buy for a 6-year-old daughter? What would you buy for a 37-year-old daughter who works at Nike or who works on Wall Street or who is a barista at Starbucks? Ask somebody else for an idea. it doesn't have to cost you a lot. Go to Dollar Tree. I mean, I love Dollar Tree. I should get, promotions from them for how much I promote it, and tell dads to go there. But really, at the end of the day, it's not about what you give. It's about that you gave, right? We can go back to John 3:16 on that one. God showed his love by giving. And so you could even buy a Snickers bar. Hey, with a little card that for Valentine's Day, so you can double these up and say, hey, I know it's been a hard season. I just wanted to brighten your day and remind you to snicker. You could do mounds. Hey, I know you have mounds of pressure right now. And I just want you to know, I'm hoping this puts a smile on your face and brings a snicker today. See, you could use candy bars and be creative, but buy something. You could buy her a piece of jewelry. You could buy her, note cards. You could buy her lotion. Lotion and candles are always a win. Go to even like TJ Maxx, Marshalls. They've got discounts. They have a section where they've got cards and candles and that kind of thing. I'm telling you, it'll be a win for you. I'm not kidding, because every time she lights that candle, smells that scent, she will be reminded of your love, right? This is about how to win her heart. Okay, we've got 3 more ways, 8, 9, and 10. 3 more ways that you could win your daughter's heart this Valentine's Day. Number 8, stop by her workplace or her school and leave her a treat or a note. There's something about going to school, you heard me talk about that just a little bit ago, or going to her place of business and leaving something from you. Even if she doesn't see you drop it off, leave something. I once heard about a husband that did this, one of my clients with his wife, and left a box of licorice. Those little crows, those, kind of dark licorice ones. And that's all he did because he knew they were her favorites. Oh my goodness. He happened to that day tuck them in flowers. So like I told you, you can mix these together. But it was the talk of the office. He didn't see her, but he left it there. But there's really something about just showing up in your daughter's world where she's like, my dad was here. And even better if you can stay. But if that isn't, maybe something that can happen at her school or place of work, it may even be that she's a stay-at-home mom. Show up there with her kids. Bring her lunch. Ken does that with one of his daughters that has 4 little kids, 6 and under. He brings over lunch so mama doesn't have to do it that day. That is a forever deposit into the heart of your daughter. Number 9, 2 more left. Okay, practical, hug her. I've literally done an entire Dad Whisperer just on hugging. Safe hugs, holy hugs. Dad, get close enough today, if you can, to give her a hug. It's super simple, super fast, but her body will encode the safety and the love embodied in that safe embrace. And sometimes that's all she needs at the end of a hard day, is to know my dad put his arms around me and just said, love you, honey bun. Kiss the top of her head and walk away, but hug her today. Find a way to do that if you can. Number 10, the last way to win your daughter's heart this Valentine's Day. This is probably the hardest. Make amends. If you need to make amends today and humble yourself and say, I'm so sorry for the way I treated you, for how I hurt you, Dad, today is the day to do just that. Make amends. You may need to write a letter. You may need to leave a voice memo. You may need to ask to meet her face to face and say, I'm so sorry I hurt you. Will you forgive me? And you've heard me talk about that before. You've got to say, will you forgive me at the end? So that 3-fold way of making amends. Tell me how I hurt you. I'm so sorry I hurt you, without defense or explanation, and then end with, will you forgive me? But I think that making amends may be what some of you need to do this Valentine's Day to win back or win the heart of your daughter. So let me review all of them really quickly here as we wrap up the show. And I want you to choose one of these as your go step right now that you will do in the next 15 minutes, okay? Number 1, spend time with her, real FaceTime. Number 2, text her an affirming message and tell her what you see as beautiful in her. Number 3, write her a note. Valentine's Day card for sure, but if that's not your vibe, some other note. Even if it's on paper from your printer, write her a note. Number 4, call her or leave her a voice memo that tells her that you thought of her today and why you did. Number 5, ask questions, and this is face-to-face time, real time. May not have to do it remotely, but ask her questions about what's going on in her life. You can use my book. You can write them out ahead of time. I would encourage you to do that so you have a way to really kind of navigate the conversation where she knows you're being intentional about finding out about her day, her thoughts, her feelings, her fears, her struggles, her dreams, whatever it is that you know would matter to her. Write down 3 questions that you want to ask her today. Number 6, send her flowers. Number 7, buy her a gift of some sort. Number 8, stop by her workplace, school, or her home and drop by in real time. Really, you're the gift there, right? You can leave her a treat or a note, or you can be the treat. Okay, you're the one that shows up to brighten her day. Number 9, hug her. Arms around her to hug her. And number 10, make amends. Those are 10 ways to win your daughter's heart this Valentine's Day. And I trust that in the next 15 minutes or 15 hours, you will take action so that your daughter can know how much she's loved by you. Well, this wraps up another week's program. I love being here with you all. Thank you for listening in. Share this with your friends. And I'm Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield, the Dad Whisperer, signing off and encouraging you to make today a day where you intentionally and consistently invest in pursuing your daughter's heart. Go Dads.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of the Dad Whisperer podcast with Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield. We trust you've been encouraged by today's program, where you've been equipped with practical action steps to strengthen your relationships. Dr. Michelle loves hearing from you, so why not write her at drmichelle@thedadwhisperer.com. As always, you can listen to the Dad Whisperer podcast anytime on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Give a listen, subscribe, and leave us a review. For free resources or to invite Dr. Michelle to speak at your next event, go to drmichellewatson.com for more information. That's drmichellewatson.com. Thanks for being with us today, and we look forward to you joining us again on the Dad Whisperer podcast with Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield.